Why it sucks to be a call girl. People think being a call girl is all about luxury, power, and seduction. But let me tell you, it's less Pretty Woman and more mission. Impossible. Accept your disguise as heels, and the danger isn't international espionage. It's unpaid clients, a judgmental society, and an existential crisis at 3 a.m. The world loves a good fantasy. In movies, the call girl is an enigmatic woman draped in silk, whispering French phrases to some mysterious billionaire who tips in gold bars. But in real life, it's Greg from accounting who forgot to shower, paying with crumpled bills that smell suspiciously like fast food grease. Being a call girl isn't just a job. It's a balancing act between survival and sanity, between playing the role of someone's dream girl and managing the very real nightmare of social stigma, financial instability, and safety concerns. Sure, there are women who find empowerment and financial freedom in this line of work, but the reality for many isn't as dazzling as the internet's sugar baby success stories make it seem. Let's talk about why. Because the truth is, most people don't understand the full picture. They see the allure, the potential money, the supposed control over men. What they don't see is the fear of a client turning aggressive, the emotional exhaustion of pretending to be someone's perfect fantasy, and the constant worry of being outed in a world that thrives on hypocrisy. One that consumes sex but condemns those who provide it. So, let's peel back the layers. Forget the glamorized Hollywood version. This is the real story. The one without the red dress, the happy ending, or Richard Gere. The myth versus reality trap. Let's get one thing straight. The world loves a good story. And when it comes to call girls, society has cooked up a real page-turner. One where every client is rich, every rendezvous is dripping in luxury, and every woman in the business is basically a walking, talking embodiment of femme fatale confidence. Except that's complete nonsense. In reality, the job isn't champagne on yachts. It's lukewarm vodka sodas in dimly lit motel rooms. It's not stepping out of a blacked-out Rolls-Royce onto the marble floors of a penthouse suite. It's texting here, outside a Holiday Inn, hoping the guy who booked the room actually looks like his profile picture and isn't a serial killer. The high-class illusion. For some reason, people assume that most clients are suave businessmen in tailored suits who just want a little companionship. Let's be real. The actual client demographic is as unpredictable as a game of Russian roulette. Sure, you get the occasional well-groomed exec who smells like Tom Ford and tips generously. But you're just as likely, if not more, to get the discount seeker, the guy who haggles over your rate like he's buying a used car. Come on, sweetheart, I only need 20 minutes. Can we work something out? The oversharer, the one who spends the entire session ranting about his ex-wife, then expects a therapy discount. The guy who can't read social cues will text 30 times even when you've made it clear you're not available. Will also call immediately after texting. The "I swear I'm different" client thinks he's charming enough to get a freebie. I just feel like we have a connection. The one who forgets to shower, self-explanatory. Unfortunately, not uncommon. Sure, some women land those coveted long-term arrangements with generous clients who actually treat them well. But those cases are the exception, not the rule. The reality? It's a lot of Gregs from accounting who think buying you dinner at Applebee's entitles them to a discount on your time. The not-so-glamorous work environment. Picture this. You've spent an hour getting ready. Hair curled, makeup flawless, wearing that dress that screams expensive. You step into the venue, ready to play the role. But instead of a 5-star hotel, you're led to a room where the bedspread has questionable stains. The air conditioner is just loud enough to drown out your inner screams, and the complimentary toiletries have been stolen by the previous guest. And then there's the ambience. Forget candlelit dinners and soft jazz. Try fluorescent lights, an unmade bed, and a broken mini fridge humming ominously in the background. Clients don't always get the memo on setting the mood. More often than not, they're clueless about even the basics of hygiene, grooming, or basic human decency. Pro tip: if you need to spray deodorant over your existing body odor, it's already too late. The fantasy versus the work. People love to claim that sex work is easy money, as if the only requirement is to show up, exist, and collect cash. What they don't realize is that the actual job isn't just about being there. It's about managing personalities, reading people, and providing an experience. Most clients don't just want sex. They want an illusion. They want someone to stroke their ego, make them feel special, make them feel like they matter. And that, my friends, is emotionally exhausting. You have to be a therapist, a confidant, a fantasy, a perfectly constructed dream. You have to know when to laugh at a joke that isn't funny, when to play coy, when to listen with an expression that says, "Wow, you're so fascinating," even if he's talking about his tax bracket. And worst of all, you have to do all this while pretending you're not at work. Because the second a client feels like he's just another booking, the illusion cracks. And you can't let that happen. The reality check. So, is there money in the industry? Sure. But is it easy money? Not even close. For every high-paying, respectful client, there are 10 who'll try to haggle, push boundaries, or act like they're doing you a favor. For every luxury setting, there are countless cheap motels and messy apartments that look like a crime scene. The truth is, the job isn't what most people think. It's not about seduction and power. It's about work. It's about navigating awkward, unpredictable situations while keeping yourself safe. It's about dealing with people who don't respect your time, your boundaries, or sometimes your humanity. And yet, despite all this, society still loves to pretend that being a call girl is some kind of cheat code to success. Spoiler alert, it's not. The stigma that never leaves. Society loves a contradiction. It glamorizes sex in movies, sells it in advertising, and consumes it behind closed doors. But heaven forbid someone actually provides it. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. The reality of being a call girl isn't just dealing with difficult clients or uncomfortable situations. It's the lifelong stain of stigma. Because no matter how intelligent, strong, or independent you are, people will reduce you to one thing. That girl who does that kind of work. A label that sticks like superglue. Here's the deal. In most careers, you're allowed to be multifaceted. A lawyer can also be a mom. A chef can also be a philanthropist. A doctor can quit medicine and become a novelist. But if you're a call girl, that's it. That's your whole identity. It doesn't matter if you're using the money to fund a degree, support a family, or get out of a tough financial situation. It doesn't matter if you're the kindest, smartest, most resourceful person in the room. The minute someone finds out, they see you differently. And the worst part? That perception isn't something you can shake off. Even if you quit, even if you move on. Because people don't just judge, they remember. The double standard Olympics. Let's talk about men for a second. The same men who eagerly book escorts, tip strippers, and watch porn are the ones who turn around and judge the women providing those services. Men pay for sex? No problem. Women charge for sex? Morally corrupt. Make it make sense. It's as if society thinks the entire adult industry exists in some magical vacuum where only consumers exist, and the providers just don't? Like, who do they think is making those OnlyFans accounts skyrocket? Who do they think is actually out there keeping the industry alive? The hypocrisy doesn't stop there. A guy can rack up a body count that rivals a war zone, and he's a legend. A woman admits to once having an OnlyFans, and suddenly, she's unworthy of a serious relationship. It's exhausting. The fear of being outed. For many call girls, the biggest fear isn't the job itself. It's being found out. One wrong text. One careless client. One social media slip-up. That's all it takes for everything to unravel. Some women operate in complete secrecy, terrified that friends, family, or co-workers will find out. Because when they do, it's rarely just a casual, "Oh, cool, do what makes you happy" reaction. No, it's getting fired. Even if sex work isn't illegal in some places, many employers still won't hesitate to cut ties with someone if their past or present is discovered. Losing relationships, friends who suddenly act weird, romantic partners who flip out, even family members who distance themselves out of sheer judgment. Being blacklisted. Try applying for a traditional job after being exposed as a call girl. Good luck explaining that employment gap. And the irony? Most people will pretend they've never encountered sex work in any form. Yet statistics tell us otherwise. Whether it's strip clubs, escort services, online platforms, or camming, people participate. But the minute someone they know is involved, suddenly it's disgusting and wrong. The "you can't sit with us" mentality. Here's where it gets even messy, eh? Even in progressive circles, there's still an unspoken hierarchy when it comes to women's choices. A woman can sell bikini pics as a model, but if she sells nudes, she's lost her self-respect. A woman can date a rich guy for gifts, but if she accepts money directly, she's selling herself. A woman can work in advertising and literally use sex appeal to sell products. But if she works in escorting, she's contributing to moral decay. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. And the truth is, no matter how much we claim to be open-minded, society still loves to divide women into respectable and non-respectable. Once you're placed in the second category, good luck climbing out. Reputation is a one-way street. The worst part of the stigma? It's permanent. A man can make money selling drugs, go to jail, come out, and be called a hustler or self-made if he turns his life around. A woman can do sex work, quit, and never mention it again. But if anyone finds out, that's her whole identity forever. The internet only makes things worse. Screenshots, leaked messages, old photos. Once something is out there, it's out there. It doesn't matter if it was years ago, if you've moved on, if you're a completely different person now. The moment someone digs up your past, it's like time freezes. And the sad truth? Society doesn't just forgive women for being involved in sex work. It actively punishes them for it, even when they try to leave. The bottom line, the biggest myth about being a call girl isn't that it's glamorous or easy. It's the idea that you can just walk away. Because the job might end, but the judgment? That sticks. Conclusion. So, does being a call girl come with some perks? Sure. The money can be good. The schedule can be flexible. And for some, the work itself isn't the worst part. But between the stigma, the danger, the emotional toll, and the endless societal hypocrisy, the reality is far from the glamorous fantasy people imagine. It's not satin sheets and champagne. It's risk management and damage control. It's a job where the work itself is only half the battle. The other half is dealing with the world's judgment, the unpredictability of clients, and the permanent stain of being that girl. And that's what makes it so uniquely frustrating. Because sex work exists because people want it. Yet those same people turn around and shame the workers. Society loves to consume the service, but refuses to respect the provider. Maybe one day, the world will grow up and finally admit its hypocrisy. Maybe one day, women in the industry won't have to choose between survival and reputation, between making money and keeping their past a secret. But until then, the job will always come with a price. And I'm not talking about the hourly rate.